And can we be real for a second? We have poisoned our food supply, engineered highly addictive chemicals that we put into our food. We spray it with pesticides that kill pests. What do you think they do to our gut lining and our microbiome? And then they come in sick. The GI tract is reacting. It's not an acute inflammatory storm. It's a low-grade chronic inflammation. And it makes people feel sick. We've done a terrible thing to doctors. We've told them, put your head down, focus on billing and coding. We're going to measure you by your throughput. And good job. You did a nice job. We have all these numbers to show for it. Well, the country is getting sicker. We cannot keep going down this path. We have the most over-medicated, sickest population in the world. And no one is talking about the root causes. Somebody has got to speak up. Maybe we need to talk about school lunch programs, not just putting every kid on obesity drugs like Ozempic. Maybe we need to talk about treating diabetes with cooking classes, not just throwing insulin at everybody. Maybe we need to talk about environmental exposures that cause cancer, not just the chemo to treat it. We've got to talk about food as medicine.
Guess where the highest rates of cancer in the entire developed world are? Baton Rouge to New Orleans. We call it Cancer Alley. Highest rates of cancer in the entire world. We have put one chemical into the system that is water soluble that kills bacteria massively. It's become the biggest antibiotic in the world, and it's now being sprayed at an extraordinary volume. And it's being sprayed in your backyards, it's being sprayed on your driveways, it's being sprayed in your roadways, it's being sprayed on your food because we developed genetically modified Roundup Ready crops. So why is GMO bad? Now you know a short answer to that. There's many things wrong with it. But the short answer to why is GMO bad? Because it allows our food to be steeped in a chemical that is an antibiotic that's going to kill the bacteria and fungi in the soil, and it's going to kill the bacteria and the fungi in the stomach of your children, the intestines of your children. You as an adult are going to get sterile eating an antibiotic in the form of glyphosate, which is again water soluble. 70% of our world is water. The earth is 70% water. Our bodies are 70% water. The entire life on planet is 70% water, and we put a chemical into that that is water soluble and gets everywhere. Recent studies have shown that 70% to 75% of the rainfall samples taken in this Cancer Alley kind of area is contaminated with glyphosate, the rainfall. 75% of the air they breathe is contaminated with Roundup.
I think that the reason there's a MAHA movement, the reason that people are so passionate about your podcast that talks about this so much, people know that something's not right. And people know that this health issue is the tip of the iceberg of what's actually happening in our world today. It is a reflection. Our human health is simply a reflection of the destroyed ecosystem of our globe. The fact that we have forgotten that we're completely connected to nature and we're completely interdependent with nature, but the health crisis is simply a reflection of a destroyed ecosystem, and humans have become so powerful and so technologically advanced and so connected in the recent decades that we now actually do have the power to both destroy the world and destroy our health. And the health is just the tip of the iceberg of a much bigger thing happening that is existential. And I think we all want kids to be healthy. We all want humans to be healthy, but this is also, it's interconnected with all the systems and all the issues. And I think it's hard for people to totally articulate that, but that is what's happening. And we actually have a choice right now. And I do believe this is the moment that we need to decide, are we going to address these interdependent issues? And are we going to make the effort and be courageous enough to fight for this? Or are we going to let ourselves be told that there's nothing wrong, nothing to see here, while our health and the health of the planet is just absolutely being destroyed?
When someone takes control of your food supply, it should get your attention. Just like defending your home or your safety, you need to take it back. Today, just 10 companies control most of our food, and their goal is business profits, not your health. Don't be deceived about that. Bread is a good example. It used to be made from the whole wheat kernel, rich in fiber and nutrients, but in 1880, industrial mills began removing the bran and germ to make bread softer, more stable. tastier and more profitable. Sure, vitamins were added back in later, but not the fiber or the healthy fats. And in the 1950s, sugar was added for longer shelf life and addictive taste. All of this fueled overconsumption, leading to weight gain and all kinds of health problems. After tobacco companies lost ground, they invested billions in processed food, knowing its addictive properties. So what do? Simple. Recognize processed food for what it is, educate yourself on alternatives, and stop buying it. You have the most powerful tool to change this in your pocket, your credit card. Find the companies making real food. They're out there. We can fix this.
The only way that we can make America great again is if we are making us healthy again. You can't be great without your health.
I think chiropractic is at the top of the list for making America healthy again because we deal with the nervous system. America's nervous system is shot. Everyone is in fight or flight.
I see more degenerative spines in kids than I've ever seen before.
Look how many things have exploded from thyroid cases, just chronic fatigue, unexplainable illnesses. I've dedicated my life to it because that's what's happening right now in this country. And someone has to do something about it.
I think it's exciting that Robert Kennedy Jr. is joining President Trump.
I'm so excited to see the strength of Trump and Kennedy running the health side, make America healthy again. That's what we want.
Make America healthy again!
Maha Alliance is responsible for the content of this advertising.
What do you think about RFK's, possibly getting in to investigate all that stuff?
I think it would be one of the best things for the health of the people in the United States. If you really care about health, I think there's a lot of us, and it was me at one point in time, and I've gotten more educated about it. A lot of us are very ignorant about what we're doing to our bodies with food and with medications.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're being told the truth. I think if RFK gets into office, he will expose a lot of this stuff, just like he did when he was an environmental attorney. People think of him as just the vaccine kook. Listen, you got to look at that guy's, the history of that guy's work has all been about protecting people from corporations that are poisoning them.
Yeah.
That's literally what that guy did his whole career. And if he can do that with health, particularly with things that we can avoid. Look, one of the things they demonstrated is that Lucky Charms, as sold in the United States, they don't sell the same one in Canada. In Canada, the dyes that we use to make it all pretty and exciting for kids, they don't allow that because it's toxic.
Yeah.
So we allow it, which means someone's corrupt.
Yeah.
Someone's corrupt.
The agenda to make America healthy again would seem like a simple one, a matter of nutrition. What in particular do you want to draw their attention to? People that are supportive of Bobby Kennedy, that are excited by you joining Donald Trump.
I think that there's a lot of hope and optimism that can be found in President Trump's candidacy against Kamala Harris. He is gathering and welcoming together people who don't have to pass a purity test on issues, but who are gathering in the way that our founders did around the most fundamental and important issues to all of us as Americans. And that's what's at stake in this election. And that's why we're doing all that we can to get this message out to voters who may never would have considered voting for Donald Trump or never would have thought they would ever vote for a Republican, but who are concerned about border security. And they are concerned about censorship of free speech.
It seems to me that what we're addressing, and listening as I was rather diligently, Tulsi, even though it's sometimes not easy when presented by you, shimmering in white, your superhero forelock.
To know that he's surrounded by people who are very strong in their own character and their own opinions, that are there to back him up, and also to counsel him wisely in a truly diverse range of directions.
That's a really brilliant point, I think, actually, Jordan. It brings clarity to true diversity rather than the kind of superficial diversity that masks homogeneity at the heart of the Democratic Party movement. If you start to incorporate strong figures, strong leaders that, to your point, would be capable of leading a party themselves into a movement emblematic of real democracy, real collaboration,